Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about all the things that are new and happening at Disneyland, including Season of the Force and Pixar Fest on the horizon, which is already starting to show up here at the Design Resort. I'm going to take you on a tour through the resort, show you all that's new, and we're also going to cover some of the Season of the Force stuff which just started and goes through the first week of June. But there's a lot to cover, so let's get started. So first off, I wanted to start over here in downtown Disney. Right next to Star Wars Trading Post, Earl of Sandwich, their temporary location, is getting ready to open soon. At least it looks that way anyway. It's gotten its decorative wrapping, so we all know what it is and where it's going to be, of course. You can see it's got a wrap here. It's got the Earl himself. Probably an ordering TV with kind of what the menu is available. Your pickup side. It's a pretty big trailer. I don't know, I can't imagine they're going to serve every sandwich that they do on the menu. Even their current temporary location over at La Brea Bakery, they don't even serve the full menu. And there's a pop-out over here, I think, which is going to have the oven and all that kind of stuff, so they can cook some things here. I thought for a theory at first that they might use the old kitchen inside Rainforest Cafe and then bring the sandwiches over in like kind of a hot box. Sort of like they do for the Food and Wine Festival and all those other festivals at California Adventure Park, where they bring the hot food to the booths. But it looks like they've got an oven space right on the back there, so. But this should be opening soon, and we should see La Brea Bakery close. We want it to close because that means they'll start working on Portos a lot sooner. And we'll walk up ahead here to show you some of the construction over at Din Tai Fung as well, which we now know, thanks to a post from Disney on their parks blog, that it's opening this summer. So Din Tai Fung coming this summer. Here's a look at some of the other construction in downtown Disney for the Parkside Market, which is going to be featuring 4 different food stops in kind of like a collective eating situation, an eatery. You can see here on if you haven't seen the concept art for it, here's what it looks like. It's kind of a big open space, kind of almost like, imagine the packing house over in Anaheim there, the packing district, where it's got a bunch of different food offerings inside. So they're gonna have Soul Sister, which is more Korean food, Gigi's Chicken Shop, looks like fried chicken. They've got a bar, of course, on the rooftop, and then some coffee and other kind of to-go drinks. And this is called Parkside Market, and you can see the construction is pretty big. They are moving fast on this one. So, and then right across the way over here is going to be Din Tai Fung. Din Tai Fung's looking really progressed as well. They've got a lot of cement laid. The building facade itself looks pretty completed. And again, this will all transform over here, sorry for the loud music guys in the background, into the main entrance to downtown Disney. But here, again, it's another look at Din Tai Fung opening this summer. And speaking of Pixar Fest, we already have Pixar Fest decorations showing up not only in downtown Disney, but in the parks as well. So this is the first of many that I'll be showing you in this video. So you can get a kind of early look at what some of the decor is going to look like for Pixar Fest, which starts on April 26th, so just a couple weeks away. Up next over here in downtown Disney is Tortilla Joe's. Tortilla Joe's has finally closed. They have had their final day of operation. And then Disney also shared what's finally coming over here to this location. They just kind of gave us a teaser, and they said it's going to be a steakhouse with a barbecue location as well in the same space. So I'm not sure if they're going to be the same concept restaurant or if they're going to be totally separate, and somehow this is going to be split up into multiple areas. I always felt like Tortilla Joe's was way bigger than it needed to be. The upstairs was almost never used, so I could see them turning this into 2 separate restaurants. But what we don't know is this restaurant going to be a patina group restaurant again, just like this restaurant is now, or if the new concept for a steakhouse and a barbecue restaurant are going to be owned by someone totally different altogether, because Paseo, Centrico, and Terradita over here are going to be owned by the Patina Group as well, and they're all operating as like 3 separate restaurants, but part of the same concept. So, and that's another thing we'll talk about in just a second here. Speaking of, we have more Pixar Fest decorations here in downtown Disney. But I also wanted to talk about this. This was the former Wonderground Gallery location. I had talked about the rumor of this Wonderground Gallery closing and becoming the dress shop so that the dress shop could expand into, or the Marceline's Confectionery Candy Shop could expand into the dress shop. Well, the rumors have sort of partially come true in the sense that the dress shop did move over here to where the Wonderground Gallery was. So this is now the dress shop, which really has a bunch of clothes. It's not just dresses. So it's no longer the Wonderground Gallery. But if you wanted to get Wonderground Gallery stuff, you can still find it over here in the Disney Home Store. So you can see inside the Disney Home Store, they now have a gallery at the back, and they're even doing featured artist signings just like they used to do over at the Wonderground Gallery. So does this mean that we kind of see the end of the Wonderground Gallery concept and then it kind of just molds into the home store? We'll have to wait and see, but that's what we have, at least for the moment. And I wanted to correct my naming a little bit earlier. I said Terradita, but it's Tiendita. So Tiendita, as well as Centrico and Paseo, we have an opening date for them now. They're opening in May, so next month. Rumors are it's going to be at the beginning of the month as well too. But there's 3 separate concepts. So we didn't know if Centrico, which is the bar in the middle, right in front of me here, was going to be kind of more like the Uva Bar, where it was just kind of like shareable food options and then drinks. But it is still a bar concept mainly, but it's operating as a separate restaurant. So you can get reservations for there, separate from Paseo. And Paseo is going to be all completely upstairs, which goes all the way through the main dining room up there, above the Disney Home Store, and in the back corner over there above the dress shop now, which used to be Wonderground Gallery. Tiendita is the quick service restaurant, so the to-go item restaurant. You can go there. I'm going to be trying these out as soon as I can. Probably go to Tiendita first, and then Centrico. And again, those open in early May, potentially the first week of May, and we might even see an end of April soft opening. It wouldn't be surprising at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the walls come down next week on this particular restaurant, bringing a little bit more visibility to this area instead of having to walk around walls all the time. But it's looking really good. It matches really well with the rest of downtown Disney's kind of new concept. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for Paseo, Centrico, and Tiendita? Are you going to be excited for a potential steakhouse and a barbecue joint over at the former Tortilla Joe's location? A lot of changes coming to downtown Disney, and we're going to show you the next one coming up here. So the next change is over here at Marceline's Confectionery. Disney did say that it would be closing and expanding into the former space of the Disney Dress Shop, giving them so much more space to have more candy available, more candy making, more treats and sweets. It wasn't really clear if they were going to keep the Marceline's Confectionery name or if they're going to go with a new name altogether. That's what I wasn't really clear of when I read it. They are going to be closed during this transformation, but there is going to be a cart somewhere here in this vicinity that's going to be serving a lot of the special, really like popular treats from Marceline's Confectionery. So you can still get them while the restaurants or the candy store is closed, but they will be opening sometime later this year. And lastly, I wanted to wrap up downtown Disney with the current Earl of Sandwich. So this current location here will be closing soon. And moving over to that little trailer that we started the video off with, a little temporary location, this building will be demolished and repurposed for a brand new Portos bakery location, which will have the primest real estate here in downtown Disney. I really hope they can make a bigger concept because that space just isn't big enough, especially to accommodate the lines that Portos normally sees. It's going to be popular. The one in Buena Park, which is only about 15-20 minutes from here, is already popular enough. And this is going to be in the Disneyland Resort, a great stop for people on the way into the parks to get coffee, to get pastries, so it's going to be popular no matter what. Before we head into the parks, there's more Pixar Fest decorations right here in the Esplanade on both sides. We have 2024 Pixar Fest celebrating friendship and beyond. You can see over here, they have them on both sides of the Esplanade. And they've got the Pixar colors adorning the top of the turnstiles. The red, blue, and yellow primary colors, which we see adorned, and that motif repeated all throughout on all of their decorations, including the banners on the inside of the park, which I'll show you in just a second. But let's head into Disneyland first. I'm gonna try to get on the Mark Twain, hopefully before it starts raining, so we can get a closer view of the Haunted Mansion construction. And here's a repeat of that motif. I saw the red, yellow, and blue with more Pixar Fest decor on all the lampposts inside Disneyland and also over at Disney California Adventure Park. They're going to be celebrating Pixar Fest for quite a long time, so it makes sense that they are installing all this decoration and everything, preparing for the festival, starting on April 26th, and it's going all the way through August. So it's the full summer celebration. And of course, there's going to be a really cool art installation for Pixar Fest right there where the Christmas tree and the pumpkin usually goes on Main Street. But you can see the Pixar Fest banners with the red, yellow, and blue line all of Main Street all the way down. And they've got different medallions of different Pixar characters on the top. We've got characters from Inside Out, from Up, from Soul, Monsters Inc., Elemental. So, like I said, I'm going to head over to the Mark Twain first, see if I can get on that attraction. And then we can get a closer bird's eye view of Haunted Mansion construction to show you what that's looking like, as well as some construction for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So I just missed loading for Mark Twain, so we'll head over there instead and look at it from afar to show you kind of what it looks like for Haunted Mansion construction and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now as I head over, spring break has officially ended, at least for school districts in Orange County and LA. But you wouldn't know that with the crowds that are here. Sunday's typically the worst day, and that's the day that of the week that I'm filming this. But I wanted to showcase you right here, straight ahead. If you look in this video in the distance, you'll see a mound of dirt peeking over the wall. That's how high the dirt mound is on the construction they're doing over here in New Orleans Square for Haunted Mansion. It's quite intense, but I wanted to showcase this first because this has kind of been, I noticed, a pinch point for a lot of guests. So if you're visiting Disneyland, I wanted to give you the heads up on this before you head over here, so you guys don't make the mistake of heading back over here to then have to be turned around. But this is Tiana's Palace restaurant, which, by the way, got some new additions. There's a Louis the Alligator statue right there in front of the restaurant now. But we're not here for that. I'm going to walk through New Orleans Square to showcase what's closed and what's actually open, because I noticed a lot of people coming over here and then having to get turned around. So we'll show you now. So because of the Haunted Mansion construction and the construction just in New Orleans Square, you can see people turning around right here. The train station is closed. You can see the train pulling through here. I do believe you can stop to get off, which we'll find out in just a second. But this is a dead end. So some people are choosing to kind of cut through the restaurant, which can be difficult if you got a stroller. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you don't come over here. In addition to that, the men's restrooms are closed here. The women's restrooms remain open, but the men's restrooms are closed, and it is a dead end. So you see a lot of people coming this way, turning around, or just cutting through the restaurant, but it's making this kind of a pinch point. You can still get your mint juleps and beignets here. That's still open, and it looks like guests can exit, I guess, if they need assistance with a wheelchair, because this is a disabled access station. So I think all other guests have to remain on, but if you do require assistance with a wheelchair, I do believe you can still access and exit the train station in New Orleans. But otherwise, the train station is closed. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because a lot of people are heading this direction thinking they can get it and then have to go all the way back around. So now we can head over to check out the rest of the construction for Haunted Mansion before we transition over to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Here's a look from the ground level at some of the construction over here at Haunted Mansion. There's quite a few big dirt mounds on either side as they continue to work on the exterior areas of the Haunted Mansion. Rumor has it too, based on some like filings with the city to work on different things, there might be some changes happening on the inside as well too. And if you happen to have your magic band, bring that with you over here to the Haunted Mansion construction wall, because there's actually some interactive elements for the grave, or the, I guess, the grave sites or the gravestones. You put your magic band right up against this reader here, and it does a little bit of a thing. I don't have my magic band today to showcase that. Should have brought it. Maybe I'll do it next time. But they've got some interactive elements on the wall just to kind of make it more fun. I think it makes some spooky sounds coming out from the gravestones when you tap your magic band on that. And wow, take a look at Tiana's Bayou adventure. It is looking more and more like the Bayou over here, way more than it ever has been. We have cypress trees planted right outside the front of the attraction now. Of course, they're all fake, but it really gives the look of that swampy, in the Bayou feel. And I was actually talking to someone who's from New Orleans that was here with me not that long ago, and they mentioned it has the look and feel of a southern salt dome. Some of the salt domes that you see in Louisiana. So they definitely did their research, of course, when working on the exterior of this attraction, and really made sure that it was paying tribute to like New Orleans in the best way it could, through the music, through the design, through everything. So I'm excited to see it, and it's crazy to think that all this greenery outside for the most part is all fake. It's all artificial, so they don't have to use water to water it like they did in the past for Splash Mountain. But it's looking really, really good. And peeking over the wall over here, here's the drop area right after you've completed the drop and turned the corner over here at Splash Mountain, or Tiana's Bayou Adventure now. They're working on some of the walls over here, adding some lighting that wasn't there before. So we're seeing a lot of that, a lot of lighting being added throughout the attraction on the exterior parts. So maybe they're planning on adding some more visuals to look at while you're going through these things. But I can only hope that one of the things they do is make you not get so wet, because that's the best part about Walt Disney Worlds, is that you don't get wet when you go on it, or at least you do a little bit, but not as much as you did at Disneyland. You would get soaked. So I hope they change that once the ride opens. They've retooled it somehow, maybe adjusted the water levels or changed the shape of the walls so the splashback's a little bit different. But let's continue on and check out what's new. And for now anyway, this store over here is called the Briar Patch. It's still going to be open once the new attraction opens, but this will be known as Ray's Berets. So the Briar Patch is going to be going away soon and will become Ray's Berets. I would imagine as we get closer to the attraction opening, it'll probably close as well to get a little bit of a redo, because the inside is of course all themed to Brer Fox, Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear. And here's a look at some of the exterior facade work going on over here, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And then we'll head over here to Pooh Corner to talk about some changes over there as well. And of course over here is the Pooh Corner store right over here. This is going to change into Lewis's Critter Club. So the majority of the store, well, I guess the whole store in my opinion, is going to be called Lewis's Critter Club, with some changes to the outside. Right now they've got some theming for like Kanga, Mr. Sanders, all things that are relevant to the 100 Acre Wood and Winnie the Pooh. And now it'll be changed to be more Bayou-esque, that Bayou theme along the water's edge. Still featuring critters, of course, so the Winnie the Pooh section at the back of the store, straight ahead of me here in the doorway, where they sell treats and special candies and stuff like that, that will still remain Winnie the Pooh, but all the other sections, including this one and the one over here, will change to match that new theme for Princess and the Frog. So only Winnie the Pooh section is going to be the one where the candy's being sold, but I think they're still going to call the whole store Lewis's Critter Club. At least that's the way the blog post made it seem. I didn't think they were going to try to distinguish between the two different stores. It might be the Pooh Corner inside Lewis's Critter Club, but And as you can hear right now in the background, they're working a lot on the facade and exterior building portions of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's also of my belief anyway that all these meet and greet areas here and the pathways for Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, they're gonna go away. Disney made a point in the article to say that they were going to update and make the experience better in the pathways, and there's really nowhere else to do that other than taking away the meet and greets and giving more space to the attraction for maybe queues or just for more walking space, as the queue itself might expand more into the walkway here. So I think if you're a fan of Winnie the Pooh, and more specifically the Winnie the Pooh meet and greets that are kind of themed to the characters, I would say come before mid-May, when all these things are supposed to be closing, I think it was, or somewhere in May, when these things are supposed to be closing, to come check it out, take some photos, meet the Winnie the Pooh characters, see the Pooh Corner store as it is now, because it's all going to be changing to match the theme and vibe of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But I think that wraps up some of the construction updates. Let's go now into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and try some of the new things for Season of the Force, as well as trying to see some of the new characters. So one of the new characters you can meet during Season of the Force is Sabine Wren, which you might have seen from Ahsoka. She'll be walking around Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, taking pictures, greeting people. Hey, how are you?
How are you today?
I'm good, I'm good.
I'm trying to scope out this new planet, trying to set up a new base.
Yeah, huge fan of you, by the way.
Thank you so much. I did actually just paint my armor recently, and on the shoulder we have a Purgle to remind me of Ezra.
Of course, yeah, right there. Love it.
Even though he's not here, I'm sure he's doing well wherever he is.
You can also see Boba Fett as well walking around. I saw Mandalorian too, but just really briefly. Lots of characters walking around Galaxy's Edge this morning. I'm not sure if this is going to be every day during Season of the Force, but you'll at least get some. And I spoke too soon. Here's the Mandalorian. He made his way over here just after Boba Fett did. So this is one of the things you can do during Season of the Force. You can do a scavenger hunt that you pick up over at Star Trader, and you find like little hidden canisters all throughout Galaxy's Edge. We're over here at Savi's workshop, and there's one right here. And you can see on the canister, there's actually Arabesh letters, and then you put those Arabesh letters in this box, and then you take it back to Tomorrowland, and then try to decode from Arabesh to English, and then figure out what this word is. And then once you do, you get a prize. So you can pick this up over at Star Trader in Tomorrowland. So I saw a commotion over here. One of the other special characters is the BDX droids, and they are out right now. So I'm over here at Docking Bay 7, and this is one of the new items for Season of the Force. This is the fried chicken bows. You get 2 of them. They have a creamy slaw. They also have a spicy katsu sauce, which I asked for on the side. Just I didn't know how I was gonna like it, but normally it is drizzled on top. And then I'm pairing it with the Pisana Punch from Ronto Roasters. This one is like a white grape juice, a passion fruit. There's like a tea in it. This one's really intriguing for me. I love the Tatooine sunset over at Ronto Roasters, so I really wanted to see what this one was like. All right, so Pisana Punch is pretty good. I don't know if it beats Tatooine sunset, but I definitely like it for a special offering for right now. But Tatooine sunset still is number 1 at Ronto Roasters. Next up, we're going into Oga's Cantina because there's some specialty drinks that are also here for Star Wars Season of the Force. All right, so this is the Silver Sea Martini. This is special for Season of the Force. It comes in this chalice, which you can get, and this drink was actually from the Galactic Star Cruiser. I saw this on Ordinary Adventures video, and I had to try it, and Kitra says it's really good.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. It has glitter in it, and you get this souvenir cup too, which is pretty cool.
I know, I'm excited. This is $30 with the chalice, so and it's a martini. It's good. It's a gin martini.
I feel like that's a good deal. Like you get a free cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this one is called the Fiery Mustafarine. It comes with the lava, like spicy, sugary, I don't know what you pour inside of the drink. It also comes with the chalice, which is sitting on right here. This drink is also from the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And this was Peter's favorite drink. So I'm not going to try this one. I'm not brave enough, but I'll let Peter try it. So part of the Season of the Force, there's some special popcorn buckets, popcorn holders, sippers, all that kind of stuff. You can actually mobile order a lot of them over here at the Galactic Grill. It's its own separate category called Seasonal Novelty Pickup. Sorry for the flash there, just the refresh rate of the screen. But you can pick up your popcorn buckets here and not have to wait in any sort of long line. So they're taking a cue from Walt Disney World. So keep that in mind if these popcorn buckets were on your list when you're visiting during the Star Wars Season of the Force. Alright, well that wraps up this video for what's new and what's happening at the Design Resort. I showcased all of the things I could find that were new, construction-wise anyway. Some of the stuff you can expect to see during Season of the Force. And remember, next weekend is the final weekend for the Food and Wine Festival. So things like the mixology classes and all that stuff have already wrapped up. But you can still get your treats, eats, and drinks at all the different booths, at least for one more weekend, before it wraps up and makes way for Pixar Fest. Pixar Fest is also going to be having its own food booths this year. Even though Pixar Fest starts on April 26th, those booths don't come, I think, until May 10th. So they're not going to be starting right away, but we'll definitely showcase those and show you what it's all about as soon as those come. But I'm headed out now. I actually got my Disneyland popcorn. I wanted to have some of that before I left. But we'll see you next week on another What's New and What's Happening here at the Design Resort. And one more thing I'll leave you with this video of World of Color in the background as I talk about it. I wanted to thank you again for watching this video. Please make sure you hit the like button and that you're subscribed for future videos as they do come in. And I also wanted to make sure you guys leave a comment, if you can, on something that you're excited about. Are you excited about Pixar Fest? Are you excited about some of the stuff for Season of the Force? Either way, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming, and I forgot to mention Pixar Fest has a foodie guide out, and I'll put a link to that in the description of the video so you can check it out and make your plans when you're visiting, hopefully during the Pixar Fest coming up here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.